Sawasdee. Welcome to a mysterious and exotic world. Thailand, a land of smiles and sunshine, the gem of Asia, a fascinating land of contrast. Chaotic traffic and serene temples, poverty and wealth, hustle and contemplation. The metropolis of Bangkok boasts many wonderful sights, such as Wat Phra Kaew, the temple of the Emerald Buddha that is highly revered by the Thai people. Bangkok's most important landmark is also its most beautiful temple complex. A wonderful work of art comprising golden cherries and numerous resplendent buildings. The Golden Temple is supported by several demons with a variety of bird people and temple guards. Splendor, gold and fairy tale scenes wherever one turns. Today, the Royal Grand Palace is used for national ceremonies and coronations. During the city's early years, it was originally built as a residence for King Rama. The magnificent residence of the former god king shines out in all the typical splendor and elegance of the Far East. A Siamese heaven on earth. Wat Sutat is an impressive sight. No less than 3 monarchs supervised its construction. A passageway and courtyard contain a line of golden Buddha statues. The National Museum is located within various traditional Thai buildings, where huge stone warriors designed as fighting cocks guard the temple complex and its precious exhibits. Wat Po, the Temple of the Prone Buddha. This Wat is the oldest temple in Bangkok. It dates back to the 16th century, and its restoration under the command of King Rama took 12 years. A total of 95 pagodas and decorative cherries, plus more than 1,000 Buddha figures, act as a magnet to hordes of tourists and Buddhists alike. Figures from the classic Ramkien epoch are situated within courtyards decorated with lotus flowers that commemorate and glorify the first 4 kings of the Chakra dynasty. Around 160 years ago, a medical school was founded in the Wat Po, and traditional Thai massage is still carried out here today. In the area close to the Golden Buddha, those who come here can learn how to perform a professional massage. Best approached from the river, Wat Arun is another well-known city landmark. A splendid temple on the banks of the Chao Phraya. As King Taksin rode on the river one morning, he gave Wat its present name, the Temple of Aurora, Wat Arun. The temple was built prior to the foundation of Bangkok, but its present design came later, an architectural masterpiece. In the 19th century, Bangkok had several canals known as klongs. Most of them have subsequently been replaced with streets, but some have survived. Traveling on the canals is a wonderful way to take in the sights. For centuries, life on the city's waterways has changed very little. The Royal Barge Museum is located on the riverbank. The country's royal ships lie at anchor here. Beautifully crafted, they exemplify the royal lifestyle. The Wat Trimit Temple in Chinatown attracts the faithful as a remarkable treasure was once discovered here. A 3-meter-high, 5-ton Buddha made entirely of gold. Steep stairways lead past prayer niches and rows of bells, up to the Wat Saket Temple, where young monks guard various Buddha relics. Early in the morning, around 100 kilometers southwest of Bangkok, the floating market of Dam Non Saduak. Here, men and women travel on the canals by sampan amid a fertile landscape. And beneath each straw hat, there's usually a smiling face. Fruit, vegetables, flowers, and all manner of goods are available here. Many of the boats have a kitchen in which fresh food is prepared to satisfy hearty appetites. A colourful event that is also very popular with visiting tourists. In the early morning light, the scene is particularly captivating. Later, many sightseers arrive and the activity on the banks and in the canals becomes increasingly intense. The Rose Garden is well worth a visit. Ponds with bridges and a beautiful array of flower gardens. The gardens are tended by a large workforce. At weekends, they're full of numerous city folk who come here to relax. The fully restored pavilions by the ponds are open to the public, and there are many intriguing water features. The River Kwai Bridge. The film of the same name made the bridge world famous. In Kanchanaburi, the railway spans the wide River Kwai. But this bold construction consists of steel and concrete, not wood, as was depicted in the film. A bridge that symbolizes the brutality of war, built by thousands of prisoners of war under the command of the Japanese. However, today, tourists come here from Bangkok to visit this historic site and to relax on the long and fascinating journey by train. train moves slowly across the bridge. The work here must have sapped the strength of even the most able-bodied prisoners of war. Each day, the Railway of Death travels along the Kwai Noi to Nam Tok. The slowly unfolding landscape is a magnificent sight. Only 60 kilometers, but this short section of railroad travels through dense jungle and past steep rock walls. There's a warm welcome, though, at each station along the route. The railway originally travelled to the Burmese border in order to transport provisions for the Japanese. But today, the journey ends in Nam Tok. On the 23rd of October 1943, this section of the railroad, which was of much military importance, was completed in only 1 year. The Kanchanaburi Military Cemetery is the final resting place of 6,982 victims of the Railway of Death. Bangkok is located on a river. The Chao Phraya is known as the River of Life and Royalty, the city's main waterway. It is from here that tourist trips embark to the north, past many temples, and through the river's busy traffic. The metropolis has grown a lot in recent years, and modern skyscrapers with apartments and offices are in abundance. Just beyond the city, passengers relax on deck and take in the colourful scenery. Long before Bangkok became the capital of Thailand, seafarers from all over the world came here. In the north, Ayutthaya was once Thailand's capital city, and Bangkok, the village of wild olives, was only a supply point. The landing stage of Bang Pa In marks the end of the journey by boat. The foundation of a royal palace on this river island of the Chao Phraya dates back to the early 17th century. King Prasat Tong had a monastery built here that gradually developed into a palace. The present Summer Palace complex originated in the 19th century, with a tower-like observatory, temples, and various buildings. The old royal residence of Chinese design was a gift from the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. This well-laid-out park contains water canals and tiny ponds. Part of the neoclassical main palace is still used by the Thai royal family as a summer residence, a truly imperial building. "13 kilometers north of Bangin is the former capital of ancient Thailand, Ayutthaya. The most famous historic site in Thailand has retained its exotic appearance. The Wat Mahatat was built in around 1380. Its main feature is a mighty banyan tree whose roots grow around a severed Buddha head. Restoration of the temple revealed a number of works of art that lay hidden beneath the ruins of the sanctuary. King Boromaracha II had the sanctuary built above the grave of two of his elder brothers, who died whilst fighting each other during a bitter dispute to gain control of the throne. The royal temple of Wat Phra Sri Sampet, that is dominated by three chettis, is one of the most famous ruins in Ayutthaya. Within the chettis, that are of typical Ceylonese bell-shaped design, are the ashes of three prominent Thai kings. For more than 400 years, Ayutthaya, Siam's former glorious capital city, was the residence of 33 kings and 5 dynasties. Outside the old centre of the city is an impressive monastery, Wat Chai Watanaram, of which the architecture is of typical Khmer design. Unfortunately, during the conquest of Ayutthaya, the majority of the heads of the Buddha statues located within the circular gallery were severed by the Burmese troops. Nothing was safe from the invading army. Alas, Siam's former royal capital city never recovered from the damage caused by the Burmese. Lopburi, the city of monkeys, has an interesting history. Once the centre of the Dvaravati kingdom, later an outpost of the Khmer. As Siam became independent with Ayutthaya as its capital, Lopburi gradually became the kingdom's second most important city. It reached its zenith during the reign of King Narai. Ruined walls, temples and palaces demonstrate its former greatness. French Emperor Louis XIV sent his envoys here, and the European missionaries visited the king. The Greek Falcon became prime minister. But his rule came to a savage end when he was executed during a revolt in the palace. The origin of this large temple ruin is unknown, but it was built during the Khmer period on the orders of King Narai. A large tower and windows with Occidental decor highlight this fact. Around 1,000 monkeys inhabit the city. Thus, there are monkey temples where the animals are fed, and there's also an annual monkey festival during which these mischievous creatures are permitted to eat at table. Sukhothai, dawn of happiness. This, the name of the first capital of Thailand, once marked the beginning of a new epoch. In the course of its 120-year flowering period, several of the city's impressive buildings were created, such as the magnificent Wat Mahatat Temple. It is still a symbol of the high season of the legendary capital Sukhothai and its former greatness. But it was not until almost a century later that the city reached its cultural zenith. The sanctuary in the southwest of Wat Sri Sawai dates back to the founding of Sukhothai and was most likely a Hindu temple. Just beyond the old city wall is the Wat Sichom temple, whose huge seated Buddha sculpture, Prarachana, that measures over 11 meters tall, is one of the largest and most imposing Buddha statues in Thailand. The symbol of Wat Sra Sri is a well-preserved cherry of Sinhalese design, plus a seated Buddha statue with 6 rows of pillars. There is a bronze statue dedicated to the founder of the splendid Sukhothai epoch, King Ramkhamhaeng. Only a few sections of the huge water ditch have survived. Finally, Sukhothai handed rule over to Ayutthaya. The ruins are truly picturesque and full of exotic melancholy. Sri Sachanalai was once the seat of the Viceroy of Sukhothai. It contains one of the most important Buddhist monuments in Asia. Even Wat Jang Lom, the temple surrounded by elephants, has retained its unique atmosphere. Visitors to this restored town are particularly fascinated by the elephants to be found here. The Wat Pra Ched Tao contains 7 rows of chedis that are believed to contain the ashes of various royal dignitaries. Thus far, 204 ancient monuments have been discovered here. The Temple of the Queen contains fine stucco work within its external walls. And the sacred shrine of Wat Chao Chan was built on the site of an older building. It's almost certain that the Wat Jom Chuan temple was built prior to Sukhothai. In a bend of the river, around 2 kilometers from the ruins of the old town, is Yom and the magnificent Wat Pra Siratana Mahatat. A laterite-built building with a tower-like prang that is most striking. The temple is covered with a row of well-preserved Buddha figures, and the imposing Khmer architecture indicates its early origins. The large temple complex outside the former royal city of Lampang looks like a fortress that is guarded by numerous dragons. A masterpiece of Lanna architecture. Beyond the massive walls of the Wat Pratat Lampang Luang, there are impressive buildings that contain magnificent wood carvings. This temple complex is believed to have originated in 496 AD. However, it was subsequently destroyed, but in the 18th century was completely rebuilt. Colourful horse-drawn carriages take visitors to the Ra Kau Don Thai temple, whose construction was financed by the teak trade. Legend has it that in the middle of the 15th century, the Emerald Buddha was stored here for more than 32 years prior to it being transported to Bangkok. As the city was invaded several times, its temple complexes are of both Thai and Burmese architecture. Chiang Mai, the most important city in northern Thailand. It's located within a fertile river valley 300 meters above sea level. The center of the first independent kingdom in Thailand, situated within the famous Golden Triangle. Chiang Mai is a city full of ancient traditions. Wat Doi Suthep is the city's main landmark. Those who come here are almost blinded by the golden splendor of the temple. The Chiang Mai Zoo was inaugurated in 1957. Today it's the largest and finest zoo in Thailand, similar to many in Europe. Wat Phra Singh is the largest temple and the city's center of religion, an impressive complex in the charming style of early Lanna architecture. The third of the legendary Sihing Buddhas is stored here. The famous village of Bo Sang is only 9 kilometers from the city. It's a place known for its parasols. This small temple complex is set in rural surroundings. A group of golden Buddhas shines from within a wooden building, and the basement of the chedi is covered by a number of golden animals. In the suburbs, those skilled in arts and crafts. Amazing artists wherever one turns. Cockfighting is the sole means of entertainment here, and the animals are well cared for by their owners. And the materials used for the creation of handmade paper grow behind the dwellings. The Wat Suan Duak Temple was built in the flower garden of the Lanna Thai monarch Kuna. The king ordered monks from Sukhothai to introduce Buddhism to Chiang Mai. Wat Chiang Man is the city's oldest temple. It's believed to date back to 1296 and was once the main residence of King Megrai. In the west of the old town is a large temple complex, Wat Cheri Luang. Stone elephants and huge naga snakes guard the building. They are the guardians of life-giving water, powerful symbols for the people of this culture. In the nearby environs of Chiang Mai is Ban Tawai, the center of Thailand's wood carving industry, an international export. The neighboring village of Ban Muang Krai is the home of various potters. In Chiang Mai, the Wat Pa Pao temple is a typical example of a Shan temple. And the followers of the Tao religion once stored their Buddha statues in the Wat Pan Tao Pagoda. Since time immemorial, the river Ping has influenced the history of the city. And dance performances in the cultural centre are a special highlight during a visit to Thailand's capital of culture. Various mountain folk also perform traditional music and dance that have been handed down from one generation to another. A visit to the evening bazaar is a colourful experience. It's a lively place where onlookers squeeze between the chaos of the frenetic market stalls. Chiang Mai, the Rose of the North, is open both day and night. Located in the hills, a visit to a training centre for elephants is a fascinating experience. Prior to the elephants' performance, they enjoy a tasty snack. Bananas and sugarcane are regular favourites. After this, the elephants perform what they've learned in the school and diligently carry out each of their trainer's commands. The schooling of an elephant begins when it's 3 years of age and continues for 7 years. The result is a delight to see. These powerful and intelligent creatures were once used in Thailand's teak forests. They can stack tree trunks with great precision and ease. They're also able to pull extremely heavy loads. Although at first sight they appear clumsy, the opposite is true. As a reward for their efforts, they're allowed to cool off in a river, a daily event, and lots of fun. They bathe themselves and then take a shower from their own trunk. Next, a journey with a difference. On their return journey, they take a shortcut through a river. No problem for these mighty creatures. Indeed, a refreshing pleasure. Other animals are also trained here, such as these handsome beasts. The water buffalo have their own training camp and demonstrate their newfound skills. Their trainers ride the indolent animals and also lie on them, acrobatics that are usually only seen in a circus. Old farmhouses are open to the public, and there's a demonstration of how the rice was once separated by the use of handheld fans. The rice was milled by a type of wooden hammer operated by foot. Each stage of rice cultivation is demonstrated within the training camp, such as the planting of tiny rice plants to the use of the buffalo-drawn plough. Other paddy fields contain rice plants that are almost ready to be harvested. Rice is the staple diet of this region. The buffalo are permitted to enjoy their favorite pastime, relaxing their hooves in the cool water. One of the time-honored tasks of the buffalo has been to turn the region's water wheels. For this, they have both the strength and the necessary perseverance. The visit has been a rewarding experience, and the farewell ceremony is the climax to a perfect day. The journey leads further north. The Hmong are the largest of the northern mountain tribes. They originated in Laos and southern China. It is believed that this tribe, divided into clans, once lived in its own kingdom. There are more than 500,000 members of Thailand's mountain tribes. The Lisu have a long, though battle-torn past. Thus, the peaceful appearance of the village is somewhat deceptive. Although happy, these people can also be belligerent, and also a little devious, as they are well versed in the opium trade. The women produce arts and crafts, while their husbands involve themselves in various aspects of the drug trade. The Lisu have adapted quickly to modern life. The Musa, also called Lahu, were once renowned hunters, and within their nomadic tribes, the women wielded great power. But the cutting down of the forests and the exploitation of hunting brought on an end to their ancient culture. However, the generosity of their females is still popular today. The roads become increasingly hazardous and lead to a breathtaking mountain world. The main town of Mai Hong Son was founded in 1832 as a hunting camp and for the sale of elephants. Two temples of Burmese design reflect picturesquely in Jong Kam Lake, with teak roofs and shining silver, as well as the golden cherries. The Wat Doi Kongmu Temple, situated on a hill to the west of the city, was built in the 19th century and has a fascinating view across the valley of the River Pai. Half the population are Shan from the nearby Myanmar, and this explains the Burmese architecture and highly decorated Buddhas. Gilded snakeheads are also one of the sacred symbols of this highly religious people. This snow-white cherry and its golden summit is located 424 meters above the city, surrounded by small temple buildings. It gradually grows dark, and the illuminated outlines of the cherry create a fairy tale-like atmosphere. But early in the morning, the city awakes and the morning market springs to life. It's a truly stimulating experience. Here, there's an abundance of fresh produce, tasty, yet inexpensive. The monks are given their early morning offerings, and they in turn bless those who provide them. It is as though this is the edge of civilization. Close by are the villages of the long-necked women. Speedy motorboats transport us on the first leg of the journey. Numerous rapids and jungle landscapes indicate that the trip will be full of adventure. The road becomes narrower and the mist only clears around midday. Hard-working people farm the fertile land with the most simple devices. Finally, we reach our destination, the village of Ban Nai Soi, close to the Myanmar border, surrounded by jungle and only accessible via a small path. In the dry period, it is extremely dusty here, and in the rainy season, everything sinks in the mud. This collection of bamboo huts has been sanctioned by the Thai government. Some members of the Padaung tribe escaped across the border and established a new home here. There's even a school. These people live from basic farming and tourism. The females of the tribe are an intriguing sight. They're known as the long-necked women. When the Paduan girls are 5 years old, they begin to wear brass rings around their neck. It is a centuries-old tradition. Every 2 years, the brass rings are replaced by larger ones, yet life goes on as normal. By the time the girls have reached womanhood, the rings have stretched their necks to a noticeable degree, often with up to 24 rings. But the bones have become deformed and the muscles around the neck have disappeared. The women are unable to move their necks. Without the supporting rings, they would break their neck. Thus, these refugees now live here and make a living from the local tourist trade. A sad tale with a happy ending. Next, a short drive uphill to the border in the mountains, a prohibited zone, the end of the road. The Chinese once founded the small mountain village of Ban Rak Thai. They immigrated from Yunnan province and settled here. The village close to a small mountain lake is peaceful, isolated, and neglected. Chinese inscriptions above the doors indicate the village's origin. The beauty of untouched nature gives rise to an overwhelming feeling of contentment, one of the very truly unspoiled places on earth. But this impression is deceptive. Visitors are transported by horse to the Burmese frontier. A short but arduous journey. The natural surroundings make it easy to forget the damage that was once done here by man. Bloody battles once took place along this frontier. Between Myanmar, formerly Burma, and Thailand, the warring factions having been the final witnesses. But eventually reason won through and a peaceful solution was found. The journey to the summit was worth it. The view is spectacular. And next, another visit to a village of long-necked women. This settlement is also hidden within the jungle frontier and is only accessible by river. The river winds through the rugged landscape. A further bend of the river and we arrive at our destination. Nampang Din. This small village is hidden within the steep slopes that flank the river, surrounded by jungle, without any home comforts. But here the people are happy and content, and the proud women are delighted to display the heavy brass rings around their arms, legs, and necks. Outside most huts, a long-necked woman sits at a weaver's loom. Everywhere there are colourful blankets, bags and jackets on offer as souvenirs. The beautiful faces of the women and their friendly smiles are a truly captivating sight. The village school is financed by private donation, and the joyful eyes of the children are proof that school can sometimes be a popular place. This village community has found its own way to survive. And tourism is the only realistic way that its ancient cultures can survive. And even Catholic Christianity has adapted to this way of life. Our journey ends here, amid the remnants of the cultures of the Far East and its ancient history. A mysterious land, full of contrast and natural beauty. Thailand, a realm of Buddhas, and a fascinating land of smiles.